Alright. Hello. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone in the world you all are. It's your Blue Archive Gacha wheel, beginner artist self-proclaimed, and your boy Tosan Yu. Welcome to the art stream. For today I will be drawing Rindou Chihaya from Hololive device, Blow Glow. Hello, hello. Also welcome Deadfish. So for today it will be like VTuber fan art. Something I do as a weekly challenge. On like drawing like every single Hololive member, or like Holo Pro, you know, like Hololive and Holo Stars. It's like kind of my goal. So I like doing it on a weekly basis to get like closer to that goal, and also to prevent myself from getting rusty, since there are like some days, weeks, times where I don't draw, and I need this kind of as a motivation to keep me going, I suppose. So yeah, here we are, and I will draw that one girl that tries the car, at least, yeah. To be honest, I haven't like seen many streams from Chihaya. Saw the debut stream, and stream-wise it was like the only content I've ever seen from her. But she left like quite an impact, and then like maybe the animations things. Okay, I'll take out my tablet and a bit of animation along. Fantastic. Doing something productive while someone also does something productive. Yeah, feels like school, I would like say. Or like work. You like work alongside other people. And this is like one of the, I don't know. But if I were like on my own, I do tend to like slack instead of like work on something. I tried like studying, you know, like university, getting into college, but around this time there was like COVID, you know, it was at this time where like COVID began. I at least not remember school yet. There's still a few days here. I mean, Just like about the thing, you know, like I don't go to school anymore. I'm like someone who works full time. And I like tried it like with college, you know, like after I got my degree, you know, like after I passed the exam, I have like good enough degree to like go to college. I like tried doing that, but at this time, you know, like COVID was like the quarantine was like a lot more stricter. So we had to stay home and do something like online listening, you know, that we get our materials like online instead of like going there in person, like going to lecturing, you know. And I can't really like be productive if I'm not productive at all if I am at home regarding like university or like school, I have to admit. Like there's it's like your own familiar four walls, roof above your head, you have internet, you have food, there's like your refrigerator, there's your bed, or you want yeah, to go idle meeting, okay, there's the bathroom, you know, something like that. And everything is like familiar to you. But at the same time, those are like things that distract me, you know. And I can't really like go into work mode, you know. I can't like focus really that much. I get distracted if I'm like at home. And this was like the issue for me like with college, so I kinda had to like abort the mission there. And yeah, go to work, I suppose. But at the same time, you know, I don't know like really what it was, but I was at the time kind of like, yeah, I need to do that. It can help me with my future, you know, like getting a good degree. I can get like a really good paying job, you know. But I didn't do anything. I was just not familiar with like the online meta, and I haven't developed any friendship with like, you know, with like with the college group, you know, I was in. We had like a WhatsApp, but there was never face-to-face interaction. I don't know like anything about the professors, the teachers, or like the other college mates, you know. I had like no mates at all, no friends, no person I can like reach out to really, because I didn't really interact with them. There are like some exceptions for like social media, Discord, you know, you can make friendships, but in not a casual manner, but like in things that are not casual manner, like, you know, like some random group because we've shared common interests, like anime server, a game server, you know. It's just like for school or like college, and it's just like, I don't know. I never was able to like connect with that. So true, I think of the house as a place to chill, so I'm never able to concentrate there. Yeah. Unless you really want to, you know, like if it's like somewhat aligning with your goals, sure. But let's say you're not familiar with anything. I was not familiar with stuff. I had like struggled to connect, you know. It was like something I struggled with. And yeah, I just did nothing that college was like really asking. I didn't really study. I just like hang around at home, was like in front of the monitor, play games, watch some YouTube, and via YouTube I found like Hololive, I suppose. And yeah, and after like Hololive debuted, you know, I kinda found like more or less my goal or purpose, you know, and I like those. I want to support them, but I need money, and I have to go to work, and while I had like everything ready for college, you know, but just like the cards I've been dealt with regarding like studying are like not that great, but you know, at least I had the cards to like start out like, you know, a job, like working, and I tried like that route and this worked. So yeah, I like not completely like neat, you know, like hikikomori or whatever, you know. I did like work my ass off. I did things for, you know, I do provide for myself, so yeah. And to be honest, like, I have a good kind of working mentality, I must like say, as long as I'm not at home. Like, I'm getting paid for, you know, for the job I'm like doing. And people expect from me that I like, you know, do my job. So yeah, I can do that. But if it's just like something voluntarily, you know, you can work at your own pace, like college, man, you know. It's kind of like, yeah, if I get to have too much freedom, I can't really regulate it, I think. We come to games. And I need to like find a reason to like move on. Like if there's an end game, you know, there's like a goal. And yeah, we can do that. Like for most cases, I'll need like some kind of goal. Not really sure about this pose. I like this item. Like it's kind of the manner of like, what am I fighting for? And you know. Like if you like reach an ending but you haven't really developed a goal yet, it kind of feels empty, you know. And if I feel like empty, not really fulfilled about what I'd like to, you know, what's the purpose? Like some games kind of like explore that really well, more or less, like, or kind of intentionally, I don't know, but kind of like gives you the feeling. You like reach an ending, but for what, you know? And then you kind of feel unsatisfied, like try to explore more, and then, you know, like explore like more about the characters, the story, and maybe then you can get to a satisfying happy end, you know. I kind of like that about Hololive, kind of more or less, where I kind of like had no idea what to do there, what's actually the goal. Okay, collect this, go there, and the controls felt really responsive, gameplay was like really nice, but what are you doing all this for, you know? You had a lot of freedom. So yeah, it was like always up to you. Not about the game. But the game sets the stage and then it's all up to you. It's like kind of with life as well, you know. Maybe like studying was like, you know, like going to college was something that was not supposed to be like what I should have done, you know. Maybe it was like unlucky, you know, that the thing was like online tutoring, online listening began, you know. And then I was like behind. I don't like know what would have been like the best outcome like for me there. But I like at least like recognize, okay, I cannot focus. If I'm hanging out at home and I'm like expected to do something productive. If it's like for YouTube or like yeah, I guess you can expect me to do something. I can expect of myself to actually get my ass up, you know. Like if I put up a schedule and then there's a deadline, alright, let's do that, you know. There's at least like people like waiting for me. And like people more or less I like made a connection with. It's like a form of like reading usernames, reading a chat and like seeing the profile picture, but you know, it's still like it feels like more like I make a connection than like with some foreign, I say like foreign, but like people I'm not familiar like with from college or like from, you know, like the ones that are like the same year as me, same semester, and or like the same professors, you know, who are like responsible for like teaching or like lecturing, you know. Like I'm totally not familiar with them, but at least I'm like familiar with huge gamers, you know. And if I'm like no for what I'm doing it, can also do for myself, you know, but at least like, you know, I know like for what I'm doing it, for who I'm doing it. But for the most part I do it for myself. Since it's always like about do it for yourself, not for someone else, you know. I have like a lot of like my self-worth is like not that high, I must like say. Self-worth is not high. Like if it's just about myself, I'm like putting myself last. But if it's like for other people, I put that like above anything else, I suppose. I'm glad you can say that you've met a dead fish. Yeah, I can say that. Like if you hang out in the pond, it's like pretty shallow, not as wide, there's not much you can discover, but if you like go out in the whole ocean, you know, there's like a lot more to discover. And like more you can like surf, I suppose, as a dead fish, you know. I'm sure humans won't always be like interested in a dead fish. You know, if it's already like in old water and everything, and who knows what has been in the water. Yeah, sure they can clean you, but maybe, you know, when will they find you? One day, 1 week, months, you know. And this time like some other fish may like take advantage of your offering. I suppose. Really cannot swim though. Yeah. I mean, you can float, you can breathe in the water as a fish. I mean, if you're dead, you don't need to anymore. Zombie fish. But yeah. But to be honest, fish don't really have teeth, so they can't really infect each other. Or like they can't infect humans, huh? They're going to be eaten, huh? Do you want to try card reading? I mean, like, for what is a fish, a dead fish, like, else usable, you know? If not for, you know, being part of the food chain. Hello, Oyasumi. The Oyasumi girl too. With a clippy profile picture. Hello, hello. Welcome to the art stream. I'm drawing Rindou Chihaya from Hololive Device Flow Glow. Welcome, welcome. I saw like, you know, like regarding the Clippy profile picture, I saw like some thing they recommended on like, I'm not kidding, change your profile picture to Clippy or something, Clippy profile thing. I only saw the thumbnail and like the title, but never clicked really on it, you know. Not really sure what this is about, but okay, sure. But yeah, interesting. Now that this not only like comes across in like recommended videos, but also like, you know, of actual users that change their profile picture to like Clippy, you know. Nice, I think I got a bit carried away. I drew the Evangelion logo on my leg. You did? I don't see it on the profile picture though, but Evangelion logo on your leg? Yeah. Maybe it's a tattoo? Okay, cool. Yeah, with a pen, I suppose. Okay, but yeah. Where was I, like, with the talking topic? Talk like something about the food chain, right? And dead fish. The ocean and such. If I think about it, the only times like I saw the oceans, you know, is like when I was on the beach. There was like not always like much to see there. I think. I remember like I was in Southeast Asia, you know, on like vacation with the parents. And I wasn't always a fan of that. I had pretty much interested that like relate to like indoor activities, like in front of like gaming consoles. Like usually when it's like school times, I don't always have like the opportunity to like be playing video games. But during vacation, I could like go as long as I wanted. Like I was like more interested in like playing games rather than like outdoor activities with like the beach arc, you know, for example. But I always wanted the parents always like wanted to go with the beach arc in vacation, so they dragged me along because I was like pretty young, a kid, you know. I can't really like say no. In Southeast Asia, the toilets were like also like kind of different from like what I was used to like in the EU and such. It smelled fishy, yes. Like it's salt water, right? And Southeast Asian waters, they were back in the days like cleaner, yes. Nowadays, And you can't really dive because salt, you know, like if you like try to dive like with your eyes open, you can't really do that. The swimming pool, you know, with chlorine and such, yeah, sure, but like in the case of like there, you had like not much freedom. You can like float, like try to stay above water like that, but and sometimes like walking on the water is not always secure, since it's like not a swimming pool, you know, it's like a beach, you know, it's like, and there could be like stones lying around, and then you're gonna walk on like some edgy stones and cut your feet, you know, whatever, and sands would like stick on your feet like if you like get out of the water. Sometimes there could be like crabs walking around. Not that I like had any encounters with that, but there was like this kind of fear, and I think I couldn't swim back in the days. As a kid, I couldn't like swim. So yeah. So I didn't really enjoy the beach arc at all, and I think like I was too young to like really got a thirst, you know, like like when in anime there's like the beach arc, Umida, and there would be like this kind of fan service, but I was not really interested as a kid there. Or at least it was like not that strong. I slightly was interested in girls, I think, but I was like, nah, that's a cringe. I shouldn't like show weakness, you know, too easily. I'm gonna be like hard to get, you know, something like that, you know, and make them approach me rather than like the other way around, you know, something like that, I suppose. I guess I was tsundere, yeah. Yeah, sunscreen, sun cream, you know, for protection. There was like a lot of stuff like to pay attention to. A lot of different things. But yeah, after I learned swimming, like when I became a teenager, I mean, like still, like the most memories I had like with the beach arc is like when I was a kid, and I don't have that in really good memories. I would like kind of like remember I was always like, man, what a pain, minoksai, and you know, yari dase and such. But yeah. If I go now, I'm not sure, like, if I'm gonna enjoy it. But in anime, they always like shot in a really fun way, you know, like, not only that there was fan service, but there would be like activities with like volleyball, playing ball, I don't know, the watermelon game, you know, like where you blindfold someone and then you kind of like, pilot them more or less, like you say like, okay, go 3 steps in at 6 o'clock or something like that, turn to the left or something, and then there's the melon, strike it, you know, something like that. And I think that would be like kind of fun to do, you know. And then at the end of the day, when it's like our night, you would like have like those kind of fireworks play there, and kind of like, if I think about it, it sounds nice. Or like sandcastle? I was building my castle at the beach when a kid kicked into it. I reminded myself, don't kick him now, mother's watching. Yeah. I understand it really, like, in the heat of the moment, you want to like, you know, give him the justice he deserves, you know, but yeah, you're like self-aware, especially like when the parents are around, so yeah, good control there. For my part, when I was a kid, I would just cry. You just like, and then yeah, and get the attention of my parents, you know, and then I would like point at the one guy or like the one other kid who like did that, and then, you know, maybe they can carry me, you know, my parents. I was always like that. Back in the days when I was a kid, I was like Sin, you know, kind of like play hard to get and everything, but at the same time I was kind of a softie, you know, like more or less, I don't know, but like I don't do the beating, I let other people do it for me, or like, you know, like punishment, you know, like whatever like would put me in a better position. If I don't have to do it, cool, you know. I was kind of this lazy kind of ass. But nowadays, you know, if something of problems of this occurs, I think I can talk it out with them. Be like, can communicate with them. At least like, you know, like adults would never do that, but like other kids, right? I would like talk to the parents and let them do that, I suppose. But if I were a teenager and then I build a castle, I put a lot of work into it and then someone ruins it. And actually I would like go to violence as much, I suppose. I was like, as a teenager, a little bit wilder, I suppose. Because I was like bullied, somewhat bullied, like back in the days. I had like my guards up, you know. When there was like a group like targeting me, I would like look for who looks like the strongest or who's like the biggest in the group. And then take down this one, you know. So that the other smaller or like, yeah, smaller parts of the gang, you know, would like think like twice before like they mess with me, something like that. And I defended myself like, I guess like once that way, like especially when they're a group, you know, they don't necessarily initiate an attack, but they were like kind of like, you know, attacking with words, like provocating me. And when they turned their back towards me, I actually like, you know, attack the biggest guy, I suppose. Like not going into the detail what I did there. Don't want to like be too graphic, you know, like put that image into your mind. And yeah, I took like the shorter end of the straw, you know, like it seemed like I attacked them for no reason. Of course there was provocation, you know, and no matter like what my defense was, in the end I still hurt like one guy, right? And yeah, but even though I took that L, you know, I lost. I like won the battle, but I lost the war, right? But looking like what happens after the war, they never, you know, like if they messed with me, this was like never in a physical way. It was always like, you know, like how in bully stories they don't always have to like, you know, use violence, but you know, like use like things like warfare, you know, no, not warfare, but you know, it's like Cold War and Hot War. Hot War's like with violence, and Cold War's like via psychological kind of means, you know, like propaganda, I suppose. They're kind of a little like that. I'm talking about this, yeah. I was like thinking about my comparison between like when I was a kid and a teenager, like how I like approach problems, but yeah, something like that. But obviously I had like issues, like, you know, I was like Hawaiian kid, I suppose. I kind of like wanted to like avoid being picked on. Yeah. There would be like more events that this time which also like actually like made people empathize with me, like sympathize with me, you know. Like I seemed like the bad guy. But there were like some events that happened to me that they like kind of softened up and be like, hey, maybe we need to like help Tosan, you know. He seems like have issues, more or less, and instead of like kind of like seeking distance or like you know, being a little more respectful, it was just more like that they're helping me, and that actually I could like had like a kind of easier life. I'm not like sure if I made any friends. It didn't really feel like it, you know, but at the very least, I could like fit in more. I could like talk more with my classmates, I suppose. Yeah. But like nowadays I'm kind of like tired on like doing all those wild stuff. And you know, like this thing with the sandcastle, you know, and like someone kicks it. Like I was like at some point like I'd like the goal of like being an artist, you know, like draw and do this for a job. And I like not only did read a lot of books, you know, like after I kind of like, you know, was like tired of like, you know, let's say like they didn't give me a reason to like fight back anymore, you know, like go always on the defensive stance and like be paranoid that someone's gonna, you know, gonna like pick on you or like attack you, whatever. Like I could like let my guard down and then I could like go to like reading books or like drawing. But if like somewhere like, you know, we had to mess with me like while drawing something, oh man, you know, never happened. But they kind of like imagine, you know, man, this guy, he's always like so silent, you know. He was like wild back in the days, but now he's like a lot more silent. Doesn't really like be like, oh cool, you know, like Yakuza or whatever. But it's just like that they're like more peaceful, more silent. But if you're gonna like mess with those people, man, you're gonna be in some trouble, I suppose. Like if you like attack us, you know, like if you like mess with a sleeping bear or whatever. I work on like some parts of the image that are like more or less not really... They're like necessary, but not like having much of like recognizing like, who am I drawing? With this girl I'm drawing. I work on like some parts of the image that are like more or less not really go into their debut stream, for example, you know, or like their streams in general. But if there would be scuff, it can also be funny. Like, there's like this one girl from where like Amagairuka is. I think like something like with weather planets, you know, that they have like this kind of theme of like weather reporters kind of. There's like this yellow girl, Hinata I think, and who is like pretty much a pawn, you know, like Amagairukas are pawn too, you know, like those who are like, what do you call it, pawn? There's some kind of like airheads, yeah, let's say like that, like some airheads. Like not the sharpest tool in the toolbox, you know. Not the sharpest knife. Not the brightest light bulb. But it's just like the charisma that's like carrying them. Something. Can't really like explain that well. And it can be kind of endearing to watch them like struggle. Professional streamer, by the way. You know, they're like under company, you know, corporate VTubers, but they still mess up. It's kind of like endearing, like to see this kind of gap. But like when they start singing, for example, you know, like they show like their strengths, then it's like, yo, you see it in a different light. I kind of like this kind of gap, to be honest. Like, if it comes to like watching those VTubers, you know, like idol, you know, like Hololive, they are like kind of idol, kind of oriented. To be honest, like the West, and I can like see the issues, you know, like like idol culture in the West doesn't really like work, you know. At least there's like this kind of cultural difference, and like, you know, you're not familiar with that really. And Korea, there's always like, it does like work because they have also something like an idol culture there going on. Korea, there's always like, it does like work because they have also something like an idol culture there going on. If I were a pillar, like let's say I'm an idol, well, I can like become an idol. Could I fit in? Not really sure. Like I sound like, you know, like if you just like hear my voice and keep in the background, I suppose, like as a podcast or whatever, like BGM. I suppose. But when you actually like listen to the contents, you know, like not only like the melody of the song, but the lyrics, you know, like if you actually listen like what's inside, I don't know if I could fit in. Like in some kind of idol thing. I can be cute and kawaii, I suppose. I like singing. But yeah, I'm not sure. TBH. Yeah, you can't recognize this as Chihaya unless I put on her head accessory. It's like a barret cap. I don't really know how to call it. But she has like head accessory. And then like those earrings. That looks like some wheels from a car or like Toyota kind of logo. And then there are like some spikes with that head accessory. I kinda like her cover from One OK Rock. Kanzen Kankak Dreamer, yeah, I think this was it. Yeah, I also remember like they had like some real scuff there that day. They were like uploading their cover songs, but for some reason they would not be available or something. Like even if you try to like live watch it, it had like issues with like the premiere or so. So they had to like re-upload it or something. This was kind of like, you know, it took like momentum away. It was like kind of like But the cover songs were like great. I like all the cover songs. I was like a lot more stuck with like Vivi's one, where she like had the cover song of like Luna Say Maybe. It's like a song from Idolmaster, Gakuen Idolmaster, you know. And I thought like a few times that I like played this game, and I hold this in high regards. Like in global Umamisime, you know, like gacha game wise, it's like the biggest thing. It's like such a wild concept, but it works. But Idolmaster is probably like the only thing that can rival it. Like not Genshin, not the Huyoverse, or like Nikkei, Blue Archive, also Idol Master's like probably the only thing that can like rival the popularity of like Misume, you know. Idol Master, same thing as Uma, right? Yes and no. Like Idol Master back in the days was also like developed by the Psy Games, and you know, Idol Master was like so good that, but Konami would like get all the shares, you know, like get all the money of that, while Psy Games doesn't really get the bigger part of the pie. So Psy Games was like, okay, what can we do, you know? Actually this OR game, but we don't get much of the money. So let's do our own Idol Master. So they kind of like came up with something like Uma Misume, you know? Like racing, sports, and then like having the winning concert, you know, the winning live. But yeah, in any case, hello 8, welcome to the art stream, trying Rindou Chihaya from Hololive device Flowglow. So like, it's kind of similar on the gameplay of like Uma Misume, but instead of like racing, you know, and then like just watching them do their thing, you have actually some influence there, like Gakul Idol Master. And it has like things like support cards too, and like idols you like it has support cards banner and then like idol banner, you know. But with those cards as well, you have also like something like a training thing. It's like similar there, but the actual gameplay, like the racing, is like where you can't do anything. But in Idol Master, you can do something, you know. Those cards are like pulled, those characters, you know. This has something of a roguelike deck building, more or less. There. Like after you win every round or so, you have like a certain amount of HP, and you have like a set of like cards, you know. I can't really like explain like how this works. I need to show you the gameplays, I suppose, but it's really like really well done, and the gameplay loop is really short. It takes like about, like if you don't read, if you already complete the career and just go to gameplay loop, it's like 15 to 30 minutes or so. When Uma Misume it can like 30 minutes to like 1 hour or like 2 hours depending. And also like it has a lot of quality of life there as well. Like, you know, like there's a spark system, like for, you know, like 3-star speed spark, 3-star stamina spark, those kind of things. You can actually re-roll those in like Idol Master, you know, like one time, and then decide from option A and option B what you would like more. Something like that. Split into borrows. Something like that. It's like pretty nice. It has something of a inheritance thing there too. It's a game from 2024. It's like last year, yes, but still like really, really great. I remember playing it, you know, it was still in Japanese, but also like a really great time sink, I must like say. So I kind of stopped playing it. But it's a wonderful game. It's a really good story, had really great characters. The music is banger. Game is butterly smooth. I never had to complain with any loading times. I'm looking at the gameplay, so much stuff. Yeah, but it's so butterly smooth and it makes sense. Everything. And the girls are like really nice. I haven't like played every single career yet, you know, like every single idol, every single girl. But like the songs Luna Say Maybe, you know, like that Vivi like covered, that came like from Gakumas. I really like that. And also like every now and then Mizu Miyasu, she would like stream Gakumas, you know, and I could like get to see the gameplay like via that way, you know, like I don't play it anymore, but it's like always like nostalgic to see other gamers, you know, like other streamers like play that game on stream, and you know, it's just like pretty nice. And when they get like to the live concert part, you know, like with the idol, when they can do like the photos, and it's like, yeah, I did that too. It's I'm sticking with my horse girls, those horse on idols. Yeah, you can do what you want, you know, like but I'm just like saying, Idol Master is probably the only thing that can rival Imamisimi. Maybe even top it, you know? Like, if it comes to global release, you know? It's the only thing. But yeah, that's like the idol culture thing. But maybe it can work, and who knows? Like, Japanese people didn't really expect that it would like blow up in global, you know? And there were like some otakus like from our community, you know, who kind of like tried, hey, please play Umamisumi, or like please watch an anime, and they wanted to get like other people to like get to Umamisumi, but it's just like so weird of a concept, you know, like if you tell them that. And yeah, but now that actually went into global, now that there's momentum, you know, it's like a lot easier to like get people to playing it. But when there was no momentum at all, it's hard. I have like the same problem now with Idol Master, kind of, you know. But at the same time, I can't really like tell people to play Idol Master because it's only available in Japanese, you know. I can't like force you to play like a game that's like really hard to access, you know, to be honest. You need to like go to so many steps to actually play the game. And there's also like an English patch or so that you have like the UI and like some of the stories, I suppose, like in English. But it's like a lot of like work to do, and it's like it's hard to sell that, you know. Like if you can just like plug and play, you know, cool, you know, like Imamisimi, just plug and play, just install it, and when done, then you can play it, you know. With like Idol Master, it's like a lot more difficult to like convince people. I'm not trying to do convincing, but I'm just like saying, you know, if you look like for other games like Imamisimi or like better than Imamisimi, then Idol Master, you know. Gakko Idol Master. If you're like especially a fan of like the girls from Cinderella girls, you know, not Gakumas like Gakko Idol Master, but like Cinderella, you know, Shiny Master, Shiny Mas, Cinderella girls, they call it like that, Shiny Mas. It's like Idol Master shiny colors when Cinderella girls, yeah, something like that. From Shiny Mas, I'm like a fan of like Fuyoko, I like Sakura Rimano, I like a lot of the girls there. I also like Higuchi Madoka there, and I played this game for a while. I liked it. There was like a lot of English patches there, like from the fan base there, from the English speaking one. Kind of like weird when like talking about idols, but to be honest, like Vivi covered like a song from Gakko Idol Masters. When it looked like it's Rindou Chihaya's design, she reminded me of like a character of like Idol Master. She has like a lot of like Idol Master coded like things in her design. It reminded me of that. To be honest. Like when I first saw Rindou Chihaya. Man, she looks like an Idol Master character. And then actually, isn't the artist like the one who like drew art for Idol Master, you know? Like not in an art way of fan art, but like the official artist. I was kinda like wondering. What's popping? Gangi, Vari, Kyuto, Sorta, Edgy style. Hello, the fake Orki? I think Orki I can like go. Welcome to the art stream. I'm trying Rindou Chihaya from Hololive, Device, Flow, Glow. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, really remind me of that aspect, like with Idolmaster. And maybe, yeah, no, gives a reason to like actually like look a little more deeper into them. But to be honest, it's like always like the themes that I'm like interested in, but like always like about who's the person behind it, you know. Like can like help like if you like have the themes, you know, to assist you with that. I like the like Holo Stars English, you know. It's like Adventurers Guild and like Bounty Hunters like group, you know, and there's just a little bit of like RPG campaign, you know, more or less like of a get up, right? Or like Holomyth and Hololive Justice, Advent, those thematics. Those are like pretty cool, you know. And you have like a story of that. Counts as like the greatest lore, like when it was like teasered, you know, like a lot of trailers and then like praise the orb, you know, something like that. But like with Hololive Japan, there's not much of being going on like early on, you know, like later on there was like more. Like with Holox, for example, or like Hololive Fantasy, yeah, I suppose. Okay, Hololive 5, not really, like how do you call it? Nepolabo? Like Nene, Polka, Lami, Botan, yeah, Nepolabo. There's not really like theme. With Hololive Device, it's like more that I like yeah, it's like more grounded. But to be honest, even if there's a lack of lore, they're more crazy than they're a lot crazier. They're not normal. Like when you look like at Hololive Devices, how was it called? Device something with free. But like with Kanade, with Alkun, with I'm trying to like to remind myself like who are they again. I like trying to remind me of the hair colors. Reka? Bancho? And then there was Raten, yeah. Like those 5, despite having the lack of like some crazy lore or like thematic, they are actually very crazy itself. Like when you look at their debuts, they're like not normal, right? This like makes up for that, you know, like it's not always about the lore or the thematics, but like who are the persons behind them? Are their characters, their personalities like charming, you know? There was enough charisma, and they sure have. In comparison, like Advent's debuts were like very tame, you know, right from I need to like check the names. Let me take a look. Like I don't always want to like call the let's go Hololive Device Recloss, yeah, Recloss. While like the lore, the teasering, the hyping for like Advent was like pretty nice and hype. The debuts are like very tame. Clo had a little bit of a promotion thing too, and like quality wise, or like let's say like from thematics, it's like not as grand and like big, you know, but when it came like the actual performance, they were crazy. And kind of like reminds me of like what Maury like did in the ASMR stream, you know, like it's kind of a fake ASMR stream to be honest, but it's like kind of an unhinged ASMR stream, let's say that. And she kind of like said something along the lines of like, there is nobody normal and there's no one sane in the whole life. Only those who like good at faking that they're sane or something like that, you know. I think this was kind of like edited with her having a handgun pointed towards you. Something like that, I suppose. And yeah, if you think about it, might be the case. Like Tokino Sora, for example, is like back in the days, oh Seizo, she's Angel, she's Opilla. And then Coco came to ruin her. And then destroying Yagiago's dreams. Like this was like back in the days before like she's like not part of her life anymore. Not like graduated. Or that she like Drake also like asking to, you know, the shitpost review. I really like this section of like shitpost review. It was like back in the days like kind of a thing I like look forward to in 2020 and 2021. Like besides like of Hololive, like with Kiara's how it's called? Holo Talk, yes, Holo Talk. I enjoyed Holo Talk. Like Myth had like a lot of momentum there. And I like the events that are like made with like big involvement of like Amelia Watson, you know, like the VR chat world, you know, like the models they had like with like the Wolfie chibis. Like it was like not like before that was even a thing. I like seeing the fan art of like Ame, like but in this Wolfie chibi style, you know. We called it like Wolfie Ame, kind of like where she's like inserted like a lot of like different situations also, like with this kind of, this was like the Ame gif where she did a ground pound, and when they took like in there's every single frame has like something you can insert into some kind of meme image or so. Like remember like Dragon Ball? Like where Goku defeats like Piccolo, you know, and like opening a hole into his torso and so. They like edited it so that like instead of Goku it's like Ame, the chibi Ame, right? Kind of like, or like with Yamcha when he's like KO dead, you know, then set it like so that like Ame is like in this picture instead of like Yamcha. There are like a lot of different like edits, like not only from cartoon or like manga, anime, but like actual movies, you know. Really like nice. Gotta go eat, thank you. Alright, enjoy. So I pretty much like that. Like art can be like pretty nice for that, you know. Like memes also like nice, you know. Like something that can put like a smile on your face or like just, you know. It's like enough. But you know, with every single time like debut stream wise, okay, what's your goal, you know? They said something, I wanna put a smile on your face. It sounds so cringe to be honest. But at the same time, I do understand, you know, you want to be an entertainer, you want to just like make sure that everyone is like having a good time. I suppose you can say that and like putting a smile on everyone, like making everyone smile, protecting everyone's smiles. But yeah, to be honest, it's just like me, like if I were like to word it, you know, like something like that, you know, I would like to just say, yeah, I want to make sure that everyone has a good time, you know. But to be honest, like as a streamer, it's your job. to like entertain someone. If you fail, I suppose you fail, you know. Sometimes the chemistry is like not alright, but yeah. But sometimes you don't have to like always make someone smile, like just telling an interesting story. Crazy stories, for example, like sharing like your like experience. Like just sharing some nuggets of wisdom. Those are also like some valid kind of ways, you know. There's also like some kind of options there. There's not necessarily a right and wrong. There are like many ways to like entertain someone. Like some people get entertained by documentaries or like tutorial things, you know. Like they look up for something like on the wide ocean of like, you know, information that internet like provides. Some are looking for something helpful, some are like looking for something funny, you know, and yeah. Yeah, there are like many ways you can like, there are many options you can like put yourself into. You don't always have to apply for like one thing. You can like, yeah, there are so many options. I do like art, but I also like talk. Nothing new. But sometimes there's like a lack of like talking when I like go into like art streams. They're too locked in. But yeah. But being locked in also like shows that I take it seriously. I sometimes take my art also serious, but sometimes not. Like right now I'm kind of like casual, I'm like pretty casual. Also my art streams take like about 2 hours, like at average. So you can expect like to be finished like around this time. If you're not really sure about the quality, you know, you just only like see the work in progress. You have like on the left some samples, maybe my avatar here in the bottom right, you know. Also like example like regarding the art style. I can draw like different way too, but it's like kind of rare to like go this way. Unless I kind of like feel it's appropriate for like whatever theme I like wanna go. And to be honest, like I think like my chibi style is more popular, I suppose. I'm kind of like defaulting to that. But yeah, if you like look at my social media, like regarding like art I like uploaded, you can see I can draw differently. This has been like you know, and I don't always color like if I go like in a different style. I don't know, maybe I'm getting lazy. But I was like pretty sporadic like of drawing like back in the days. I say like back in the days, but what is back in the days? I think like 1-2 years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago. I was pretty sporadic with my art progress. I would like sometimes like draw like 5 days straight, and would upload for like months or weeks, so weeks or months or so. There are like those issues, like with consistency. So I would like try at the very least every week 1 time, you know. Those are like why I do this art streams as well. And yeah, I always want to draw every single Hololive Pro member, you know, so let's do that. I'm not like sure about next week, maybe I will draw like Holo Stars member, I suppose. I've like drawn every, not everyone from Holo Stars English, but I only need to draw Haka, I think. I need to post battles one as well. And then I have like... yeah, Tritrarus, I did Trogerard. Yeah, then I have drawn every single Holo Pro, Holo Stars from English. So Holo Stars JP, not everyone, but I kinda like wanted to draw those ones that are like rather aided. Or like terminated. Like Gamma. Izaki Gamma. Gamma. It's like kind of like with the katakana like for manga, you know, but it's like kind of like it's like how do you call it? Palindrome? No. Pseudonym? Adam Strauss, then like astronomers. Don't know like what it's called, but it's anagram, yes, anagram for like manga, his name. Like Hisaki Gamma. It's like not double M, it's like N and then the M, you know, Gamma, something like that. And it's just like for manga, and like the character Hisaki Gamma is like, he's a manga artist, you know, something like that. Nothing too special, like lore-wise. Like Uproar, you know, Holo Stars Uproar is like kind of the interesting mix. It's like, there's one ghost, there's one manga artist, there's like a shaman, and then like a flamboyant young man. I think like dancer, I'm not really sure. But was kind of like, okay, interesting. I say shaman, but like, let's say exorcist, something like that. And I like the theme song they had like there at some point. It was called Prologue. It's like really fitting to like the theme of like uproars. Similar to like Tempest that are like supposed to like bring some change in there. But then they didn't really bring that much of a uproar or boom. But yeah, slowly and steady, right? But maybe like marketing issues? Not really sure. If like the market is saturated or so, what if they just get outclassed? Could be like a mix of both. But yeah, we'll draw fan art. At the same time, you know, like, you know, like, if you really are a fan of something, but you want, like, people to pay more attention to it, like, telling people to, like, you know, play this game or, like, watch this person doesn't really help. Like, with Shiny Master, for example, or, like, Gakon Island Master, I like those games, but telling you is not enough, right? Maybe we're gonna do fan art, I suppose. Like, ways of like supporting without like paying money, you know, like super chat or like donations or whatever, you know. You can do like the like, subscribe, you can do what's called, you can do clipping, you know, you can do clips. Clips are like really helpful, you know, like this is like how I got the Hololive. You can do the video reviews, whatever, why you should play, or like why you should watch, you know? Or like, it doesn't really have to be like this, you know. It can also be like what to expect, or like a short review, what to know before you get into it. Like there are a lot of ways you can like do that. And if you do fan art, then it's just fan art, right? But if the quality is like good enough, it doesn't really have to be quality, but sometimes, you know, you put your emotions, a part of yourself, into the picture. And if you really like love and appreciate what you like draw, like people like can see the care into it, you know? Like with Hyde Sensei, who draws like a lot of Fubuki fan art, you can like see really clearly like how he cherishes her, and what kind of light he sees her. And some people like can kind of like get the same message from like looking at his art of like Fubuki. Some people use this wallpaper, you know. My art is not wallpaper worthy for now. I don't draw any crazy backgrounds yet. But when you can like kind of resonate with an art piece, you know, maybe it makes you want to check it out. At least that's how I got into like watching Gintama. And I guess Mob Psycho. Because there was like one artist I looked up to, I sometimes talk to as well, that always like drew fan art of them. Not always, but like back in the days they drew like a lot of fan art. And I was like kind of curious, you know, like while they had the momentum, they you know, of like putting all of that onto paper. It was like digital paper, you know, and just a photo of that, or like scan. Yeah, I think like scan and then like edit. I was like curious, and then I looked into it and was like, yo, banger. Thank you for doing the fan art. Thank you for like making me watch that. I had like open mind with like getting into new series, anime or so, because back in the days I was lacking like access to like watching new anime and such. I always like watch anime like via what the TV channels were like broadcasting. There were like not many options. Yeah. Let's adjust the mic. Even like things like Sword Art Online and such, you know, I didn't really had like a bar that needs to be like reached and for me to like watch something. Like even games, you know. Sometimes I was like talking, oh, I played like a lot of like RPG Maker games, you know, but I mostly like played those that are like from the German kind of like RPG community, you know, where they make games and where you can like find RPG Maker games. But then there would be like something, yo, they're like Japanese RPG Maker games. I was like not familiar with their game at all, you know, like how you about OLG and was not familiar with the game. And I got to play Eve and I was like, wow, this is a really deep game. I only got one ending so far, you know. And the ending I got like in the remake, for example, was like really different from the first ending I ever got. I got like the good ending, the best ending. There. Or like, it could also be the canon ending, I don't know. I got it first try like in my very first Eep, you know, gameplay, the OG. In the remake I got like a different ending. It has been like, I don't know, like between the gaps, you know, I think like when I played the remake and then like the original 8 years, 9 years, not so sure anymore to be honest. But yeah, it was a fantastic game. No combat, It was a little spooky, but not too spooky. Yeah. I could do that again. Okay, how long were I in? 1 hour and 20 minutes roughly. I think if I got out now, I'm like done. Let's draw the straw. Let's work a little bit on line weights, and then I think I can like kind of rush it. I like doing my best that my art streams are like not too long. I think we do like Rindou juice. I like orange juice, but apple juice is better for your voice. And since like Hololive Pro talents will do a lot of like with recording and singing, you know, like using their voice, they're gonna like go more to apple juice. You know, like one of the models from Hoshimachi Suisei, she has like one toggle where she has like always like a box of like apple juice, yeah, and she's like drinking like from that. But now I'm like doing that here with Chihaya, you know. And suppose, you know, she's like from Hololive device. Glow Glow, you know. It's like more like electro, somewhat hip hop, but like more electro, you know. More upbeat songs. Which I guess, you know. I think I'm gonna draw that like separately, yeah. She has like some logos on her head. But I like the girls. So far I haven't like seen too much into Chihaya. At least not seen very many clips. But Kogai na Nico really, I don't know, kind of well behaved. Vivi, I like her cuteness. She's cute, but not in an annoying sense. She's like really natural, I don't know. There's like something genuine about her. Can resonate with that. With Sue, I think a lot of people, I don't know, see like something cute in her. For me, I don't know, there's like something relatable in her I can connect with. With Isaki Riona, I can resonate with her, more or less, or she feels like something I don't have. Like, she has like really, she's empathetic, yes, something like that. Emotionally connected. She seems like patient and, no, like patience and pity, like really feminine. For me, I'm like very, I don't know. Sometimes I do think I have like some issues, you know. Sometimes I think I'm a psychopath or so, you know, because sometimes I'm like really emotionally disconnected, you know, like when something really tragic or like sad happens, but I kind of like, it doesn't hit me, you know. Sometimes I have like those kind of, it's not an issue really, you know, it's not a problem for me. It has not been a problem yet. But sometimes I think, is something wrong with me, you know? Something like that. And having some complimentary part there, you know, like watching her gameplay of like To the Moon, what I did. I understand some Japanese. She speaks like slowly enough for me to understand, you know? It's kind of like, I like this girl, you know? Sue? I don't know, like, there's something I can connect with her. There's something like, it's not like just like, she's just like me, you know, it's just like, I don't know. There's like something I could connect with. The cute avatars are a plus, you know. But just like, you know, there's something real. I'm trying Chihaya not to leave her out, kind of the reason. But yeah, I guess I have to like look into her live streams if I have time. Of course, like right now it's like the whole Hollow Knight kind of wave, you know, because there's like for 6 song, Hollow Knight 6 song, like with Haunted as a protagonist. It's gonna come out in, I think like September 4th. It was announced for September 4th. It's like less than a week, right? A lot of people like playing like streaming now Hollow Knight, right? I saw like Gerard's a little bit into his stream, in his first stream for like Hollow Knight, and I saw like a lot of different like Hollow Knight like streams, like Doki Bird, also Kiara's fumbling so hard. Gerard, he seems competent, but at the same time his talking skills are like carrying it, you know. Like it's not always the gameplay that's interesting for me, but like what are they yapping, you know. Doki Bird, she tries. I can't really connect with her, but I think like she will do okay. With Gerard, I kind of like what he did, you know, because at the beginning you don't really have an idea like where to go. You have a lot of freedom, you know, the game gives you freedom, but you don't know what is your goal, what's the end game, what's the purpose. And so far like Gerard is like doing okay. Like, oh no, Iselda, I'm gonna free you from Counterfront, the map guy. He's such a horrible man. No, kind of like hitting on this, you know, like kind of trying to NTR, I suppose. I don't know, like it's like it was like kind of I don't know like what he does there, but it's like what I find like really entertaining about Gerard, that he's like a pretty good entertainer, you know, natural entertainer. The only issue for me is like endurance stream, but like for Hollow Knight I think like I can like take exception, you know, because it takes like a long time for me to play it. I did like the weekly kind of approach with like 3 hours to like 5 hour streams for like Hollow Knight. But if they're gonna do that, they maybe can like extend to like the maximum hour of like VODs for like streams. 11 hours 50 minutes or so, you know, it's like the max. But to be honest, there's not much like dialogue, but the only like thing that maybe extend like the gaming session is like a really difficult boss. I think they will have struggle with like the dream fights, you know, like False Knight, the Fallen Knight, False Champion. Yeah, something like that. And maybe like with the with like, I want to like say a name, but like with the end game boss, they will have like issues. Something. But you know, I just like played it like, what was that? 2 months ago? 3 months ago? I'm not really sure anymore, but it kind of feels nostalgic, you know, to like watch other people play and like how they struggle, and kind of like smiling, like looking really patiently and like smile. There are like some backseaters be like, heal here, you could have heal here, or something like that. And yeah, or like go there, only the 3 hits mod or something like that, you know. But they're gonna play at their own pace, you know. If they need help, they will ask. Right now, I'm not gonna backseat. Like I'm not too much of a backseater there. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, like how people are still like not mature enough to like respect that, you know. The game is like 7 years old. Yeah, it takes 7 years for like 6 song. But yeah, it's kind of like nice to like revisit it in that way, you know. Like I watch someone else play it, it's just like, yo, it's like I'm going back at it as you know, you can't like erase your memory and of a game you like play, or like some can do that, you know. They're gonna play that game, it feels just like they did it like the first time. But like watching someone stream that game, see their reactions, they go like with a blind playthrough, It kind of feels like me playing it the first time again. But to be honest, I'm not playing, you know? I'm just like watching. It's like something kind of nice. But it always comes at bad timing, you know, where I'm like in the middle of my work shift and then I can't like really watch. I can like go like with audio only, can do that, but I miss out the fun, you know? Like how they do like against the boss, like it's like this is like by our hair, you know? It's really tight, really like clutch. Or are they like a pro gamer like speedrun it? Sometimes I would like to see the things in action, you know? Not only like hearing it while like I'm working. But this is also like where I appreciate clips. It's really good for like big streamers, you know? Like there are a lot of clips, but like the smaller ones, I kind of want more clips. You know? There are like some streamers I'm interested in, like indies, you know? Especially like, I don't know, like I'm interested in one Taiwanese streamer, the VTuber there, but there's not a singular clipper there. Kind of like sad because of this language barrier, you know. I like want to know about the lore, I like what the personality is really of that one VTuber girl. I just can't understand what they say. If they speak like English or Japanese, I can understand. But if they go like back to, you know, Mandarin, I don't understand. There are like few things I understand, like the greetings, or like when they say sorry, or like no problems, you know, or like when I count. But if they go like to, you know, sentences, I do not understand. You know. So yeah, clippers are really valuable, really valuable. If you are like bilingual, consider like making clips. Video editing is not that hard. But if you can draw as well, maybe do fan art instead, you know? Yeah. But if you want to really support someone but you don't have money, clipping is a way, you know? Something like that. I really have to like look into Flowclo and like Recloss if they have like a lot more clippers, you know. I'm kind of like missing out. I kind of feel like I'm missing out. Like some streamers from Hololive or Lolo Stars, I can be like okay with just watching clips, you know. But some I have to resort to like a stream to like kind of like see the whole greatness in them. Because there are no clippers also. Oh, sometimes I have free time, you know. It's like mostly the case of like, oh, I have free time. I don't really have like a homework of like watching every single one. It would be the dream if I can like clone myself like Naruto and then have like all the clones like watch the streams. But yeah. There are also like some drawbacks of like Shadow Clone no Jutsu, right? Like you share knowledge, yes, with the Shadow Clone Jutsu, but you also share like exhaustion, like the drawbacks, you know. Like if one did like a workout and then you like dissolve the jutsu, then all the exhaustion is gonna transfer towards you, something like that. Yes, multiple hair colors. Gonna do that later. I think like with watching streams there will be no exhaustion, to be honest. And so far, the shadow clones have been really convenient, you know? They're like the perfect puppets, you know? They're like obedient, right? They don't necessarily have a free will. I mean, they are basically you, but you can control them, yes, you know? It would be interesting if they were not so obedient, right? But this is how the like is in Naruto. Naruto! Sasuke! I need to like have a gradient later on. Oh, so. Do I do the hair first? Yeah, let's do the hair first. I kinda want to apply the base colors on other parts of the image as well, but let's work on the hair first. It will take like a little bit longer with the hair, but it will not take too long, I suppose. Maybe I can complete it within 2 hours, and if not, it's like also fine. But besides of like shadow cloning, sometimes I would like to have like the ability to like listen to like many people at once, or like that I have like kind of the mind that's like able to multitask, you know? It's like hard to like listen to 2 people at once, right? But what if they have the ability to like, you know, to do that? To like maybe listen to 10 people at once. It's like hard to follow like when like 2 people at once are like talking. But what if I had that ability, you know? Like, in Toho there's like one character, you know, who has like this ability. You can kind of like see what people desire, you know? It's nothing like mind reading, but it's like really close to it. And mind reading has, for example, like kind of like drawbacks like depression. Like not necessarily like that it causes depression, but it's like if you see into people's mind, you can like see their deepest secrets and some unpleasant things. And it can like lead to depression, you know? Like there's a lot of darkness hidden in like people they don't really show. Like even I have like some darkness. Like I mean a lot of people have darkness in them. But we try to like be, you know, show ourselves on our best sides, and it's like some things are like unpleasant to like, you know. I kind of read the room and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's not say that. Right? A lot of people can be like that, adult people. And if you're gonna look into their minds, man, you can get depressed. So yeah, I would like some ability that is like kind of helping me to like with my to be able to like kind of multitask, you know? I don't have to mind read, but I want to be able to like, you know, if I like, there's like holodecks that like the fan has created, and you can like watch multiple streams at once like via that. But your mind can only like maybe handle 2 people at once. You can do that if you like try to concentrate. But if you like draw at the same time or be on a phone at the same time, no chance, you know? No chance. You can like watch one stream and then have like maybe play on a phone or like draw at the same time, maybe you do homework, you know? But once you turn on a second stream, it's game over, kind of. It's at this point like a background stream instead of like something you like try to like follow. So if I can have the ability to, like, you know, being able to have a good, I don't know how you call it, you know. It's not spatial awareness, it's not consciousness, but something is like enhanced that you, like, you know, can like follow multiple kind of happenings at once. But yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me see about Chihaya's hair. Kind of like complicated. But I need to like work with gradients. I'm gonna work with a lasso there. Have like second layer. Of course, like, if you like a lot of people, you know, like, what would they like have as superpower? Some would like say, oh, I want to like be able to teleport, you know, or open portals. And then you can like kind of like save traveling costs, right? And it's like super convenient. What do you think about it? And it's like something I cannot argue really with, because it's convenient, you know. You don't necessarily need like abilities for like to be a better fighter, you know. If you want like super speed, it's like dangerous. Like in Missime, I kind of like explained it, right? Like in Missime are like really fast. I like walk at like 50 kilometers per hour or so. And if they can like bump into someone, man, it's gonna hurt, right? It's gonna hurt. You can break bones like that. Maybe even kill someone. If you like if you bump into someone at full speed. And all this while you're human, you know? You have only so much reaction speed. In a car, it's kind of okay because wind resistance, you know? You don't really feel like the air pressure, the wind resistance, or like all the sounds, you know? That comes like from wind resistance. So you kind of like can focus on like what's ahead of you and like when to dodge, you know? Like reaction speed wise. But if it comes like, yeah, if you can run really fast, there are like the drawbacks. Similar to like super strength as well. You have to be more careful if you like, if you do like some physical things with like other humans, you know, like a fist bump, handshake. If you gonna be like, if you throw like your baby into the air and then catch it again, you know, you have to be careful how much power you have to apply. And this is like kind of like, you know, a pain to live with super strength. And while you're super strong, can your body endure so much weight on you? Probably not, right? Maybe if you have the power to like destroy a human, you know, but can destroy you as well, you know, I suppose. Like, imagine like a car's like coming at you, you're chopping it, you can maybe stop it, but your bones will break. I don't know, you know. Like super strength doesn't like equals, yeah, I am undestroyable, right? That's not like, there are a lot of like things to consider when you like want a superpower, I suppose. Really complicated. So yeah. Hello, Cloudy Dark Sky. I think I can go with Cloudy. Welcome to the art stream. I'm trying Rindou Chihaya from Hololive Device Flow Glow. Welcome, welcome. If I want a superpower, it's just like, yeah, I want to be able to like listen to multiple people at once, watch multiple people at once, you know. And I'm like happy with that. I don't want like something crazy. I don't want to save the world or anything. I just like want something that makes my daily life a little more comfortable. I think the drawbacks of this ability will like be that I need more brain power, need a lot of sugar, but I suppose like I can go with the straight off, you know. It's all I can think about. Cloudy! Yeah, I saw that a few moments ago. Cute art? Thank you. Kawaii desho. What do you like about it? I kinda like it in this genre, you know? Like when there's a super smart person, that they always like eat something sweet, you know? Like sugar. Because they need that like for their brain. And it's always like, yeah, kinda makes sense. I'm not much of a sweet tooth, to be honest. I don't really eat much sweets. Maybe that's like why I'm dumb. But I kind of have like this old man kind of taste, you know, like I don't really eat sweets. I'm like more of the peanuts guy. I eat like crackers, I suppose, and yeah, that's about it. And if I ever get like something myself sweet, then it's like, okay, I have some leftover bread, I have like some butter, I have like some Nutella, then let's do that, you know, something like that. Like this approach. It's like something with effort, you know, where I actually like have to put physical work into making it instead of like just grabbing for like the package, open it with like, you know. It's like some extra steps where I have to like get a bread, I have to get a butter knife, I need to get a Nutella, butter, you know, bread slices, you know, like let's say toast, you know, like spread like the butter on it, then make sure that there's no butter on the knife anymore, on the butter knife, and get the Nutella with the butter knife, spread it then there, and then I can eat, but I also have to like make sure to tidy up afterwards, so it's a lot of extra steps, a lot of effort. I cannot control myself via that to like not overeat, but it's just like, man, so much work, you know, just old man. But to be honest, like, doing like that is a lot more cheaper, you know, with like buying the ingredients, like bread, butter, Nutella, you know, then like buying like directly like, I don't know, like chocolate bars. It's like a lot more expensive, you know. Processed food is like expensive. Adorable eyes? Yeah, right. The eyes are like quite something. You can express with that a lot more, despite like it being simplistic. It's kind of the trade-off. You kind of give up on details, you know, like Mona Lisa, you know. You give up on like the details of that, but you can like express more. It's like animation is like really good. Demand for more emotes? My emote game is like pretty outdated. I think like I will update it at some point if I like open my membership at YouTube. But yeah, I'm not like sure when I will do that. I don't have the time currently. But I will I will do it. I don't know. I just don't know when. But if you like, you know, if I see like there are not a lot of viewers, you know, there's a lot of demand, then yeah, I will consider that, of course. I need to like work on the headphones. I think like it's different from the design. But there's like something about the headphones here, where it has like that stuff, and then something of a flower shape. Like some Twitch emotes are there, but they're like really outdated. Don't really recommend like using your points on that or like sub. I will update it at some point. But yeah, at the same time I have to like think if this is worth it, you know? Like when I always get like, I'm like happy, you know, if I get one viewer. Let's go, my first viewer, and you know, the first chatter, let's go, and I'm like happy about that. But at the same time, when there's only like one, I'm not sure if it's worth it, you know. But regardless if it's worth it or not, I will do it at some point. It's just like you know, time. Since I'm like streaming like 3 weeks in a not 3 weeks. I'm streaming 3 days in a week, you know. I have to work as well. Then I'm gonna create thumbnails. Like I do like something like that, you know, thumbnails. I think that's like where all the times like goes to, like instead of like creating how it's called, emotes. How often do you do art streams? I do every week at least once. Every week, one art stream minimum. So I'm like somewhat of a regular art streamer. Maybe with that I'm like an art streamer, I don't know. But I also like do other stuff, like, I don't know, like some VTubers do like singing streams, they do like games, they do satsudan, I suppose, you know. Currently a lot of people are like playing Hololive, to prepare themselves for like 5th or 6th song. There's like Hololive 2. I think I will get it. I'm not sure like if I can. I probably will stream it, I suppose. But I'm gonna be like pretty slow. I'm not gonna like play and beat the game one sitting. I like spread it apart, like, you know, every week, like about 3 to 5 hours. I will try to keep it at 3. At maybe like at 4. 5 will be the max. I don't know. Depending on how much I will struggle with our boss, you know. Like the bosses are like the one thing that can like that can take time. It's also about the mastery of the game, right? In the beginning, not a lot of people can master the game right away. Maybe like playing Hololive will prepare you. I'm not sure. But yeah. Pretty cute game as well. The art style is kind of like derpy as well. I did draw myself like once like as the Hollow Knight guy. Not Hollow Knight, but like the knight, the main character, you know. I kind of like how cute, kind of like that. But maybe we're gonna go involve more with the silhouette kind of way on like drawing. Not really sure. any case, let's continue drawing. There's like not much I need to do to be like finished. Like some base color, some color depth, and then dekimashita yo, I suppose. Oh, so here's also some rings on the hands. Yeah, I have to draw that, I suppose. She has some accessories. A lot. I guess like in a good character design, it always like belongs there. Like VTubers have like Holo Pro VTubers. Like corporate VTubers. They have like a really good character design, I must like say. It's like always interesting to draw that. What the artists like cooked with their design. If it comes to new outfits, like kind of a collaborative effort between like the talent and like the artist, the VTuber mama. But when the input comes like from one person alone, maybe like Hololive as well, you know, like, or like Cover Cup, how you can say it. They have like a little bit of input as well on like, okay, we want to have this main colors and restrict yourself to that, you know. Make their boobs big please, something like that, I don't know. Like, there are like a lot of like kind of restrictions. But when they come in the end like with a really good design, great, right? So, what is that? Gonna go towards the fingers. She has like here a ring. Gonna mark that. On her middle finger, she has like one. Yes. Around here. I like making sure that I like am accurate with the details. I don't have to draw every single one, but sometimes I feel like, yeah, why not, you know? Let's add that. Yeah, by the way, if you want to like to see the old artworks, you know, since I'm drawing like every week, you know, one time minimum. I have also social media, where I like upload my artworks. Sometimes I'm a little bit lazy there, but it will get there, you know. And you can like see all my previous works there. You have on the left some samples, you know, of course. But if you want to get a full picture, you know where to find me. And Twitch is like in the about page, where it's like linked. On the YouTube side, it's like you can always find it like under the video description or like on the about page there. Multiple ways. Okay, anyways, Oh man, the logo designs, the logo games. This is like, this is hard. Muzukashii na, so. I'm gonna keep it simplistic there. Some of the details I'm gonna keep it simplistic. Oh gosh. I shouldn't like laser focus on like things. Phew, staring too much at things like hurts my eyes. Yeah, sometimes when like do art streams, I will mostly talk about like art related stuff. I'm like pretty sure not everyone can like draw who's like watching the stream. But you have to like to expect that if you like come into art stream of mine. Sometimes I will like talk about the character I like drawing, you know? And then you get a little bit of lore. From our fan, you know, I suppose. Who's like who's like always watching all of them. Or like occasionally watches them. And then you get a little bit of drops of like wisdom, I suppose. Or like knowledge, but is it useful? Maybe not, you know. But you get a little bit of something there for your life. The head has also some details. I also draw something on the juice box as well, like details. We're gonna do that for later. But now I'm gonna make sure that like some of the details are like right. Like if you draw fan art, it is important to make sure that you have like the things that make the character recognizable like right. That you get that right at the very least. Like if you draw like a fan of a witch, then you always have to draw a witch head, you know? Else she's like naked without, I suppose. Something like that, right? If you draw Goku, don't forget about his hair, you know, his crazy hair. As always. Even it's gonna be stickman wise, never forget about the hair details. Always important. To include elements that make the characters like the character. It can be color, it can be like some crazy hairstyle, you know, but always remember that it's like kind of the the principle, the approach. Yeah. Any case, I forgot like some things as well here. I think I can include this line here. This line. There's some green. Don't forget about the spikes. I forgot to draw those in the sketch. I did it now. Man, this looks so garbage. But whatever. I also don't forget about on the other side, Tosan. Some details have to be included, recognizable. Alright. Usually, I'm not a fan of like drawing details of this nature, you know? Like if it's like a little more, I don't know, more streetwear? Like gangster-ish vibes, you know? I don't know like, if you can call it gangster, but something that makes you like more hard-boiled, that makes you look like more of a delinquent. Those kind of details. Let's say if I'm gonna like comparison, no? Like drawing like a cute say-so girl, your girl, or like someone of a boss girl, you know? I tend like towards the more cuter element rather than like the one that's like more rough around the edges, to be honest. But it's interesting to draw that, to be honest. It's always interesting with something that you are not necessarily like, that's not necessarily a favorite. You can like still draw something decent, you know, from that. Okay, okay. Just gonna draw the details all first. Okay, we're about 2 hours in. I think I can complete that in 20 minutes. About 20 minutes. Let's see if I can actually do that. I'm gonna hand draw every single square. Okay, I think like this can... Okay. Alright, and then there's this thumbs up. I think I'm gonna do the color first. And then draw the thumbs up. And then delete what I don't need. So it's like a spiky skull or something with white and green. And then the thumbs up is like... Maybe it's like the kind of attitude of like rebellious. But still like going along with like other things. Maybe it's so small. It's so small. ちっちゃいよ、お前。わ、ちっちゃいよ。Alright, let's draw it bigger. Make it bigger. Okay, what else? Ah yeah, the box, the juice box. Juice box. Let me draw an apple on it. Multiple apples. I have to work something with the color out later on. A pretty light color. I need to like add color depth later on. There's also like some kind of label. Ingredients and such. Gonna just that. And then if there's a juice box that, you know, it's like it has like some more elements. Oh gosh. The more and more I work on it, the more details it is, I think. And there's some barcodes, I suppose. Yeah. Oh crap. This kinda looks real. Yeah, B. この本物じゃん。じゃねえ。この本物じゃん。Hello there, nice to meet you. Hello, Smack, S-M-A-C official site. We're gonna go with Smack, right? Smack, hello, welcome to the art stream. I'm drawing Rindou Chihaya from Hololive, device flow glow. Welcome, welcome. So I think I'm done with the juice box. And then like some... I'm gonna play a little bit with the weights. Then... line weights and then like color depth. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And then this doesn't take much more. I'm like almost done. So the stream's gonna end like within 10-15 minutes. Yeah, let's say that. Not gonna take long. Also need to find the right balance and everything, but until like I found it, I'm like, I should be like finished. But it's like nice, you like witness things before like the end, and like from beginning to end or something, you know? But at the same time, if you were like there from the beginning, you can be like, yeah, I was there from the beginning, I was here. The art is looking pretty nice and cute. Hey, thank you. I try like my best with like making it like appear this way, you know? And in a fan art, you want like at least like have those kind of qualities. Right. Show like that the thing you like draw, you have like some appreciation for it. Like even like children's drawing, it can still be like nice. Or like some kind of stickman drawing. They can also appear nice if you put enough passion in that. I evaluate it, I don't know, but it's like recognizable at some point, right? What do you like about my art? I think I always ask that, I suppose. I think if you like draw, you can always like ask this question now. Like if they make like some compliment. Or you can be like, please specify, you know. But at the same time, you know, when they like something, you know, like a movie, a series and such, then it always gets interesting if you like kinda like press, you know? If you press them for more details. Maybe they can get something more interesting to tell you. Pretty cheap and rounded, it's simple but nice. It's like, I get a simple answer. But yeah, this is like also like nice. Thank you. Well, you give up on some details, you know, if you like go this simplistic way. But you can express a lot more, like thanks to that. Sometimes like this expression like a show can be simplistic, at the same time the form they take, you know, like a lot more, I don't know, smaller, cuter, makes it also kind of derpy, I suppose, huh? The eyes are something I really like about this art. Yeah, I mean everybody can draw, everybody can cook, you know. But I think like the eyes are like, while they're easy, they can be hard. Like you draw circles, right? Or ovals, whatever. You have on this left side some samples, you know, like they're like enough of different like the vibes you can get from that. But yeah, I also like the line, adds interesting vibe. Fantastic. So you can do it. Everybody can do it. Everybody can like specify and like share a little bit more like what they enjoy about something. Maybe it like takes a little bit of time, you know, but like showing a little bit more appreciation like in this kind of way, yeah, can go a long way. Thank you. Arigato. But to be honest, I don't always like expect like people to answer, you know? Like sometimes I ask them and then it's like beep 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 beep, not like giving more. May I give an advice? Her left hand, their fingers look a little bit odd, but it's not something too important. Yeah, it looks odd, I suppose. But I don't really pay much attention like detail, you know, like regarding if things look realistic or like as long as it's convincing, you know, I did a good job. The focus is not really the hand, I suppose. Like, if we like scroll on social media, right, you don't like really zoom in and look like at everything closely. Maybe if you have a suspicion, oh, is that AI, you know, then maybe makes sense to like look at things a little bit more. But yeah. Oh, this is all hand drawn. Yeah, don't worry, the drawing's great. Thank you. To be honest, like I take more importance into speed that I'm like done within a certain amount of time. Like this is like longer than 2 hours, I suppose. It's like it's my first time drawing her. Like for most Holo Pros, it's like my first time. Like I did like more or less a challenge, you know, more or less. Like I tried to draw every Holo Pro member, like Hololive, Holo Stars, and I draw like every single week, like one of them, that I get a little bit closer to it, you know. And it will take like a little bit of a while to like get familiar with the character design, the vibes they have, you know. Like if I draw like some artworks, it's like kind of nice if you like hit the vibes. Like if you draw like a rebellious character, draw them from a rebellious side. If you draw like someone who's cute, maybe draw them cute, I suppose, right? But because they're like real persons behind the VTuber avatars, I mostly draw them from their human kind of side, which can be derpy, a little bit stupid, but also like cute, I suppose. Because they're entertainers, they try to put a smile on your face, make your days a better one, and they can like show their kind of stupid sides. Sometimes they say like their stories, you know. Like someone got like stabbed twice in their life, and then they tell like one of the stories where they got stabbed, and it's like, what the hell, you know. But you know, things like that happen. I had like kind of a near-death experience, for example. I told it like once, and then yeah, kind of like, oh, you know, like those kind of sides of people. And it's like so oddly bizarre, but there's something real about it, you know, because they didn't make the story up. About JP VTubers, I don't know too much since there's a language gap barrier, but there are like clips thankfully there, so I can experience it via that. Like if it's something really like major, I suppose. Do you have a Hololive Oshi? Not currently. Like a lot of them graduated, you know. And then we're like, what am I fighting for? Who am I supporting? But you know, I still like Hololive despite my core Oshi's like gone, to be honest. Maybe you could like say it's Yago, you know? Maybe like his dream, you know, of having like an idol group is like what keep me afloat, I suppose. I like a lot of the girls, but I have no clear favorite yet. I haven't like found the soulmate. In JP, like Japanese wise, like if a different company VTuber, corporate VTuber, I have like more or less a soulmate, but just like you know, like no clips, no translated clips. I have to like rely on my anime Japanese knowledge to like kind of understand what she says. Yago, yeah, of course Yago. Yago best girl. Yago best girl. Yago's cute, right? How can you hate him? But to be honest, like every single time Yago is making a cameo into like any stream, like he doesn't, you know, he doesn't have anything against it when we do memes with him, right? He rather welcomes it, you know, do what you want, more or less. But yeah, feel free to do to meme me or something. Like he doesn't really like issued any like con against that, right? We are like welcome to do like F around with these images, and I kind of like the time like when he was like modeling for like the merch. When like a Hololive EN member would like put up a merch for like, let's say like for, how do you call that? Apron? He would like wear the apron. If it's like about a mug, he's like showing up the mug. Sunglasses, he wears the sunglasses, you know. And it's kind of pretty nice. JHP members call him like kind of an old man, you know. And be like, wow, Kimo, or like what a face, you know. Like when they put on the Hololive Minecraft server, like his face there in the sky, you know. Like the pixel art. And then, oh, I'm getting, you know, who's this old man, you know, something like that. But I kind of like the kind of interactions between talents and like Yago, you know, like JP talents, you know, like when they get like face to face, like Kaicho, like Coco, Kiyo Coco with like Yago, you know, like interview, or like when Shion was like there with Yago, like the big Yago 3D, like really big head. Or like Aqua, you know, like Asian like streams, which are kind of sad, but also like you know, they have like cooked something for you, and that's like something nice. It's always like nice when Yago's on the screen, to be honest. I can also like the when like Haka Holostars English, when there was like Yago voice in his stream, kind of. He kind of like wanted to like start off with like keeping the whole stream in like Spanish, and then knock knock, there's Yago, and you know, no Spanish, English please, and then he would like bitch slap him. He was like, ah, you know, the Holostar guy, Haka, you know. Kind of like nice when they like gets him to do like some bits, you know, here and there. Pretty nice. And it's like one of the few CEOs who's like actually a human being. Like I work like under some people who are like more interested into like profit, money, and didn't really care much about the people who like work under them. I like encounter like some people who like pretty much like not human, you know. So like having like something like Yago you know, like as a CEO, like him as a boss, like when he's the boss of like Cover Corp, and like, you know, he was like responsible for like Holostars for a long while until like they found like more management and everything. It's like pretty nice. In any case, that's, I think it's all for Actually, let's admit something. I was like saying, oh, let's end it now, but let's add something. Let me see. Okay, everything's fine. Complementary color, I would say. I'm gonna look at my old artwork for now. I did like my old artwork a lot of color sometimes, like color splashes. Like backgrounds, you know, I don't really draw a lot of backgrounds, but sometimes I did in the past. Eye color wise, she has like red eyes. Maybe let's use that as complementary color. Let's put some splashes here and there. Yeah, right? Because if I just upload this picture, the picture is solid. The art is solid, but it's like nothing that stands out too much. You know? It's like enough to get a like, but not a retweet. But even if I like add some color splash, it's not enough for a retweet. Maybe it get used as I don't know. Maybe it can get used as a... Sometimes I have like the hope of like, yeah, please, you can feel free to use a thumbnail, whatever, but sometimes, you know, whatever. Color splashes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Okay, let's see. I'm beginner digital artist, by the way, so I'm like not really familiar with like all the tools that Lipstick Paint is like available for me. I don't really mind much, you know. Wow, such cute art! Hello, thank you. How do I read that? B for L love sunshit. If I read it like that, man, I'm gonna get like beaten up, right? Ball of sunshine, right? Alright, thank you for your comment. I'm like drawing here, Rindou Chihaya from Hololive device, Flow Glow. Welcome, welcome. I'm like almost done, so the stream's like gonna end in like within 10 minutes, I suppose. Like, it's not gonna be long for now, but just like doing like the finishing touches, you know, and then I can be like, peace out, and like leave. Yeah, but good things have an end, right? But I'm not sure like if my streams are a good thing or like my art is a good thing. But yeah, I'm gonna end like soon. I'm gonna respect your time, you know, I respect my time as well, but especially your time, you know. So I'm not gonna like, I'm not that much of an endurance streamer, you know, who does like 12 hours, 24 hours a day. Like, I have my limits as well. And there's like only so much I can like watch personally as a viewer of like VTubers and such. But yeah, not true. Yeah. I mean, gonna put like time above everything. We have only 24 hours in a day, you know, and we have like to prioritize things. But if you're like interested in like looking more art, I do like every single week like at least one art stream. And my current goal like with my art streams like more or less to not get rusty, but also I want to try every single Holo Pro member. So it means like Hololive, Holo Stars, you know, and every single week you can expect something like that. And if you want to look at the results of like that, I upload that on my social media. If I think about it, if I like don't forget about that, then you can like see all of that there. I think you're on the Twitch side, so you can see that in my about page. But if you're like on YouTube, you know, just fill out in the video description, you know, and see like all the VODs of there as well. So nothing gets lost, to be really. And yet the live streams are more or less of a proof that I throw them, you know, it's not AI, it's like nothing I commissioned someone, it's like handmade. I made this. And yeah. Any case, I think that's it. Well, actually, is it too dirty or should I, I don't know. Nandaro, I don't know. I don't know. I don't use much I'm not like familiar with like color backgrounds, to be honest. I sometimes use them, it's like, oh, that looks nice. Yeah. Let's do some complementary color, I would like say. Maybe a little bit of blue. Like for the inside, I suppose. You gotta experiment, you know? No, it's not too much of a good idea, but idea was there. Alright, let's call it. In any case, I thank you all for watching. Alright, this is the full picture. Rindou Chihaya from Hololive device Flow Glow. Yeah, I kinda give her a warm tone, I suppose. Drinking like some apple juice. That's it for today. This has been 2 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, I was good on time. This has not been longer than 3 hours. So I wish you all that a nice rest of the day, evening, a good night, whatever times in the world you all are. And with that, I'm gonna say bye bye.